What the subject is, we'll see. First, look at this clip.
दुख भंजन मोरा साथ न छोड़ो हरिओम हरिओम हरि हरिओम दर्शन भिक्षा दे दो मनोहर मोहन गिरधर हरिओम दर्शन भिक्षा दे दो मनोहर मोहन गिरधर हरिओम 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 मनोहर मोहन गिरधर हरिओम।
Murli Manohar Mohan Giridhar Hari Om. Guru came running hearing a Sishya sing. That brings us to the question, can ragas heal? That's the subject matter which Dr. Seetha Jayaraman will share with you. During the process of the talk, talk, please keep your mics muted. And towards the end, we'll throw it out for any kind of discussions. Okay, thank you. Any observations you can always put in the chat box. Have a nice time. Over to you, Dr. Seetha.
Namaste, namaste everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are, whichever part of the world you're in. Welcome and thank you for making time to be here, to encourage me, to listen to me. Because I don't have anything new to say. I would only say I'm going to learn from you through discussions that follow. I have a few thoughts about ragas. I would like to hear from you first. What music means to you, apart from pleasing you, apart from finding solace when you're depressed? Is there something specifically designed to appeal to your senses? Is there any particular rag, any kind of tune that appeals to your senses? I just
People
want
can
to
put
hear
up their hands and then unmute it.
Yes,
Yeah,
Jaya.
Jaya.
Actually, I was telling about Rag Megh Malar. Generally, in Delhi, in a friends group, usually when it's very peak summer, so we are all sitting in the park and we sing all the rain song, all these, rain induced songs. And the next day, definitely it rains.
Oh,
so
lovely.
it is actually, yeah, this is something I really, yes, I believe in that. Some about Rag Megh Malar. About the other ragas, I'm not very conversant, but I know this and I have experienced this.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. There is a comment that I'm not very audible because I'm speaking away from the mic. Am I audible now? Thank you for letting me know. Thank you very much. I didn't realize I was sitting away from the mic. Yes. Binuji, did you have anything to say? I thought.
Actually, my stint with classical music started pretty late, means during the COVID. Before that, I had no idea of music, forget classical music. So when I started learning Bollywood music, because work from home started, travel time was cut. So I thought, why not learn music? So I spotted a Guru Ma on Facebook, and since then my life completely changed. So in the process, I realized that most of the beautiful songs have the classical base to them. So I joined her classical music class also, and I started enjoying it so much. Right from a 3-decade-old corporate communication, hardcore corporate professional, to showing leanings towards classical music was amazing transformation in my life. And I particularly like राग बागेश्वरी जो कि तीसरे पहर का राग है, राग शिव रंजनी जिसपे which is very flowy like घूमर घूमे रे, और राग बागेश्वरी कौन करत तोरी बिनती पियरवा. So now it is in my system, and it is the most happening thing happened in my life learning classical music.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, sir. That was so much in detail. You also illustrated. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else who's willing to share? Any kind of a special feeling that's evoked in you when you listen to a particular raga?
Dr. Kamal Sethi.
Yeah.
Dr. Setia?
Yeah. Actually, Rag Bhairavi is my most. I'm very मतलब उसमें जो भजन होते हैं वो मुझे बहुत पसंद है, फेवरेट है। और सुबह का राग है, तो मुझे याद आता है कि हमारे घर के पास एक मंदिर हुआ करता था और उसमें भजन बजते थे सुबह, और बाद में मुझे पता चला कि ये राग भैरवी है। तो उसका जो असर है, सुबह सुबह उस राग का जो असर है वो बहुत ही सुमधुर होता है, प्रभावकारी होता है। एक मेरा अनुभव और है कि राग के साथ साथ रस भी होते हैं, वीर रस, श्रृंगार रस, हास्य रस,
नवरस
और जी
नवरस, नाइन इमोशंस नवरस होते हैं। बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
अब देखिए,
Absolutely.
यदि आप देशभक्ति का गीत गा रहे हैं तो उसमें स्केल थोड़ा हाई होगा, और उसमें जो लिरिक्स हैं उसके हिसाब से जो म्यूजिक है वो थोड़ा रिदमिक होगा, फास्ट होगा, जोश जगाने वाला होगा। इसके बजाय यदि आप विरह का गीत गा रहे हैं या कोई गजल है तो वहां पर थोड़ा लो स्केल होगा, थोड़ा सा ताल भी अलग तरह की होगी और थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड उसका विन्यास होगा। तो ये चीज है। अच्छा, लोरी का तो बहुत ही अच्छा इफेक्ट है। मैंने देखा कि जब कोई मेरे ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन जो हैं वो मेरे पास आके सो जाते हैं दुबक के, दादा पहले पीठ पे हाथ फेरो और फिर जो है हमको वो लोरी सुनाओ, रारी रारूम हो रारी रूम, सुरमई अखियों में नन्हा मुन्ना एक सपना दे जा रे, दिया के उड़ते पाखिरे, सपनों में आ जा साथी रे, रारी रारूम हो रारी रूम। मैं गाना पूरा भी नहीं कर पाता और बच्चे सो जाते हैं। तो भारतीय रागों का तो असर है ही। ये जो रस वाली बात है इसको भी मैं इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहता हूँ। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much. That was coming from a doctor, yes, and a grandfather, a proud grandfather. I can feel that. Ajay ji सुन रहे हैं वो पूरा, तो he is noting all that. He is a new grandfather. तो वो भी अरे कल हमें भी करना पड़ेगा। दादाजी
मिठाई बाकी है हमारी।
नहीं वो लोरी सुन रहे हैं, तो अपने ग्रैंडसन के लिए करना पड़ेगा। वो भी सोच रही है वो।
एक और सीता, we have just hired a nanny for just keeping all the things, क्योंकि हम लोग थोड़े पुराने हो गए हैं तो हमें एक्सपीरियंस नहीं, अब लेटेस्ट एक्सपीरियंस के लिए हमने नैनी को हायर किया है। शी बिलोंग्स टू बॉम्बे, महाराष्ट्र।
अच्छा।
वो जो गुनगुनाती है ना उसमें वो बच्चा ऐसा चुप हो जाता है और उसके अलग ही डिफरेंट ट्यून है।
वो आपको नहीं सुलाते।
So we talked about ras. We talked about the different emotions involved in ragas when you use them and the effect that it has on the people.
Lakshmi Ravichandran has her hand up.
Lakshmi Ravichandran, please go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to say that since I've been working with children, my experience is like I have seen all these children respond to Mohanam, that is Bhupali. So the minute I start singing Rag Bhupali, they would always stand up, dance, and you know what? It's a great pleasure to see them do that. And I feel that Rag Bhupali and Mohanam in ours are the same. And this is the way I have noticed children responding to this particular rag, and it so happens that it's my favorite rag too.
Thank you, Lakshmi ji.
Yeah.
Yes. So each one of you brought up one aspect of the today's topic. Somebody said raga, somebody said rasa, somebody said emotion, somebody talked about the mood, somebody also talked about the beat. So it's all encompassing. Now, when we talk about these things, these have already been set in Indian traditional definitions of music as such. When we say traditional definitions, music is supposed to appeal to all senses, any kind of music. But then the kind of classification of ragas that have been resorted to Indian classical style of music is very structured, highly structured. It fits into a frame where you can verify, you can calculate. It's as scientific and mathematical as the modern science. So this was dating back centuries ago. I'm not even talking about the centuries and years. So according to the traditions, music and specific ragas sung perfectly in swar. It is not sur, in swar. There is a difference between swar and sur. So when you touch the right swar, the right way, with the right frequency, it is supposed to touch one particular nerve in the body, human body. We will talk about that. Even before that, somebody raised the point of singing music to certain part of the day, which means that ragas have specific times mentioned in scriptures during which time it has the maximum effect on the human body. So let's look at that. I don't know how many of you are. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a famous saying by Mozart, where he thinks that the notes are as important as, and the silence between notes is as important as the notes themselves. When we say notes, we are talking about a specific sound at a specific frequency. Because music is nothing but sound waves traveling and harmoniously to reach, I mean, you know, sound travels in air, right? So when it travels, it reaches the listener at a certain given frequency. This frequency, when it is correctly used, is supposed to vibrate certain nerves in the body. This is, again, I'm not making up anything. This is all scientifically proven record. Now, to quickly sum up what we said in the last session so we can move forward, these are the broadly 10 areas where the health benefits are maximal using music. It reduces stress and anxiety, improves our immune system, it motivates us to be more active, then it also increases the blood vessel functioning. It's supposed to open up arteries if there is a blockage. Believe me, this has been proven. And then it also said to lower blood pressure and then reduce pain. One, it suppresses the feeling and takes your mind away from the pain. And then when it comes back, it is seemingly reduced in its intensity. Then it is supposed to induce sleep. Those who have sleep disorders, it works as a tranquilizer to make people sleep peacefully. And then it also is said to improve memory. We talked extensively about it in the last session. Then it also, surprisingly, it also is said to improve recovery in case of stroke patients. Isn't that amazing? And then it also helps you to eat less. When you're stressed out, you tend to eat a lot, right? At least I tend to do that. I have noticed that about myself. So it reduces stress. So it regulates your eating habits in the sense that you eat less to your requirement. Okay, let's come particularly to ragas. Now we have said that ragas have specific timings to perform. As per the Hindu philosophy and the traditions, it's supposed to evoke certain feelings, certain emotions in us, because the body responds to the vibrations that are created by certain sounds at certain frequencies, which are very pleasant. As much as if the sound vibrations are not pleasant, they will have a negative effect. This is further proved by one Shamli Sharma, a sitar artist who was also a music therapist for many years, says, I can certainly attest to the fact that your personal feelings are projected on the audience tremendously. As much as if you're upset, you should not play, because you are transmitting this feeling to the audience, which is not fair. If you are overwhelmed, if you're very happy, then that also reaches the audience. In a nutshell, it only means that don't perform, if you cannot make people happy, do not transmit your unhappiness to people. So don't perform, don't sing when you're upset, because it reflects in your singing and it easily reaches the audience. So this is a performing artist who is also a music therapist who has said this. Now, when we go into the raga classification according to the Indian school, we know that broadly there are two schools. One is a Carnatic school, the other one is a Hindustani school. We will talk. I'm not an expert. I'm not a musician in the real sense, but broadly these are the basics. That the two schools have different classification and different nomenclature. The names of ragas are different, but the structure, the composition of the swar are the same. So every raga that one school has a parallel, has a similar kind of a composition in Carnatic as well. So Hindustani, it's called by one name, but the swar are the same. And the Carnatic school has a different name with the same swara composition. So you are easily able to find parallel between two ragas in the two different schools of thought, schools of music. According to the Carnatic school of classification, which was given out centuries ago by one Sri Venkatamaki, there are 72 ragas, which are called the parent ragas or the Melakarta ragas, from which hundreds and thousands of ragas have been generated. Those ragas which are born out of these parent ragas are Melakartas, or in the Hindustani parlance, it is called thats. So these are called Janya ragas. So you have Janaka raga, Melakarta or parent raga, and then Janya ragas which are born out of these Melakartas. So these are supposed to, according to the neural research, these are supposed to control the 72 nerves in the human body. This is again has a scientific base. It's not just said as an opinion, it's a fact. Singing or performing a raga, when sung according to the lakshanas, exactly according to the characteristics of each raga, when sung purely in pitch and in swara, it's supposed to give the performer the complete control on the nervous system. It's not giving complete control over the system alone. It also reflects in the listener, which reaches the listener's body through his ear. So it appeals to the listener's senses as much as it controls the senses of the singer or the performer. Now, for example, the ragas Ahir Bhairav and Todi in the Hindustani style are prescribed by Hindustani style. I mean the nomenclature. The names are Ahir Bhairav and Todi. They have their parallel in their Carnatic style as well. I don't want to digress into that. These two ragas are prescribed for patients suffering from hypertension. It's supposed to work on their blood pressure positively. And similarly, Carnatic ragas like Punnagavarali, which is the raga predominantly used by the snake charmers to control the snakes. So Punnagavarali and Sahana, which is another very beautiful raga, sounds more like a lullaby, are useful to calm the mind and control anger. Obviously, if it can control a snake, then it should be able to control a human body, right? So yes, these are very basic examples of how ragas can affect one positively. Now let's look at Indian ragas and diseases. So listening to specific, like I said, listening to specific kind of music at specific times of the day. Again, this has been prescribed as well, very clearly stipulated in the scriptures. It's been shown to be helpful in maintaining good health, overall health. So the curative power of music, it comes from the vibrations of certain ragas to and it's supposed to have a positive effect on the hormone system and the glands which function and which produce certain secretions. I don't know if I should be talking about it because I know there are very renowned doctors in the group. They are called endocrine glands, which discharge their secretions into the body, directly into the bloodstream. Those glands and those hormones keep the balance of the body intact, and then it keeps the body infection free. So these ragas, specific ragas, are supposed to work on specific areas of the body with specific glands and certain hormonal effects. Okay. We just mentioned that ragas follow a certain schedule of a day. Broadly, traditionally, the day is divided into prahas, or 8 beats of the day, ranging from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., which consists of 4 beats or char prahar, and then from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., like it's broadly divided into two areas, broad areas, where you have 4 for the day and 4 for the evening through night. So 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. is the first beat of day. So you have daybreak, early morning, early afternoon. Then 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the second beat of the day, where you have late morning, noon, early afternoon. 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. you have third beat of the day, where you have afternoon, late afternoon. 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. you have fourth beat of the day, which is evening, twilight, dusk, which is, around sunset and so on. So these 4 parts of the day are, very clearly earmarked for certain ragas. 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. is the first beat of night, which is evening and late evening. 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., that is a little after midnight, it's going to be second beat of day, night, midnight. 1 a.m. to 4 a.m., that is after midnight to early morning. It's going to be third beat of day, late night. 4 a.m. to 7 a.m., just before sunrise, which is fourth beat of night, early dawn, and dawn. So it's very clearly mentioned with every raga, whether it is a morning raga, noon raga, or evening raga, and which prahar it is supposed to be sung to get the maximum result out of that raga. Obviously, we are connecting with nature by prescribing which part of the day which rag should be sung. So yeah, this goes into the 24-hour period that's been validated in scriptures. And the same scriptures have also mentioned, if you can recall, what Dr. Hegde said. According to Ayurveda, there's something called Gandharva Veda, Gandharva Ayurveda. So, according to Ayurveda, all the diseases that we suffer fall under three classes, three categories, all of them. One is Kapha, Pitta, and Vata. Whatever kind of disease can be classified broadly into three. One is Kapha, related to your lungs, your nose, your nasal cavity, your nasal tract, and so on. Pitta has to do with all the digestive problems related to your your liver and associated parts. Then you have Vata, all the pains that you suffer with bones and muscles and tissues and so on, all fall under this category. So broadly, we only have three categories of diseases which can explain for all the disorders that you feel in the entire body, whatever name you choose to call it by. So what happens, which part of the day are these seen to surface? One is 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Kapha is supposed to be at the maximum. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pitta, digestive problems. Then 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Vata, all the pains are supposed to surface. This is during the day. Again, the evening prayer is 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Kapha, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., that is after midnight Pitta, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., you're supposed to have Vata. All the pains surface from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. probably. That's when you want to sleep and you're unable to sleep because of that Vata. So why are we talking about something that is beyond music? Because as much as we have seasons, like we know we have 6 seasons according to the geographical distribution of India, we have 6 rutus, 6 seasons, and each rutu has affects one part of the body depending on the weather conditions. I'm not talking about, we are not taking into consideration the global warming and the disturbance in the atmospheric changes and the environment. So we are not talking about those. Given that we are still following the same 6 ritu system, you have Varsha Ritu, which is the rainy season, during which time Rag Megh and Rag Malhar are supposed to be sung. During Basant Ritu or Vasant Ritu or autumn, Raga Basant is supposed to be sung. Bahar, spring season, Rag Bahar is supposed to be sung. Well, and here are the seasons and diseases. Now we said 3 seasons, and here are the other 3 seasons. Vasant Ritu, what happens during Vasant Ritu is increased kapha, all the cold and cough stuff emerge, and then it reduces the digestive capacity. And then Grishma Ritu, the heat, during which time kapha will reduce, but vata increases day by day because of the heat. Then Sharat Ritu, which follows Grishma Ritu, which is the hot season, sudden exposure to the sunlight and the heat during Grishma Ritu and following cold aggravates pitta. Digestive system is affected. So these, again, I'm not saying, these have been scripted and documented in our scriptures. No, here are the 6 ritus and 6 ragas as examples to be sung during these ritus. Bhairav, as Dr. Setia said, it's one of his favorites. Bhairav, Hindol, Deepak, Megh, Malkhans, and Shri Raga. Now these, again, these the nomenclature, the names are given in Hindustani style, the way it's been named in Hindustani classical style. But otherwise, they also have their parallel. If you look at the swara composition of each of these ragas, they are the same in both schools of music, which is Carnatic and Hindustani. So here we have the Hindustani style, and then we also have Carnatic style, which we will talk about the parallel ragas between the two schools. Okay, here are some of the examples that you have about ragas and the common ailments associated with these ragas. Are you able to see the screen, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you confirm to me, because I cannot hear?
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
give me a thumbs up if you could, because I can't even see you.
Yes.
Just give me a minute. I'm looking at. Okay.
There is a black patch in between. There is a black patch.
The black patch in between. Okay. Is everybody able to hear? Yes, there was a
Can you increase the screen, because I'm not able to read the letters.
Okay.
They're very small because I'm in an
Very
iPhone.
small.
No?
Okay, I'll do one
Yes.
thing. Okay, I'll do one thing. I was a little skeptical about this because it's quite a big kind of a table. I can read it out to you. You
Yeah.
may not be able, if you're not able to read, because this is the maximum I was able to do.
Okay.
Increasing it further will only distort it further.
Okay. Okay.
I can read it out to you along with
Okay.
the visual.
ठीक.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm noting it also, so it'll easy for me.
You don't have to. What I could do is I can share this slideshow with you.
Okay.
So I mean, if you're still trying to note it down, it's fine. But I can share the slideshow with you, or at least this table.
Okay. Okay.
Are you able to see the screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. One minute, because there is.
Clear. Not clear.
Okay, I'll come back to this. Okay, let me read it out to you. Now, are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, we are able to see the screen.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Read also,
I know
read
it's a
also.
little challenging to read the write-up, because if I increase the font size, it goes beyond the screen. So maybe
Okay.
I'll read it. Yeah. Ahir Bhairav, it's supposed to clear indigestion problems, rheumatic pains, rheumatic arthritis, and hypertension. Asaveri is supposed to build confidence in you. This is again more to do with, I would say, emotions. Then it's supposed to increase your blood pressure if it is low. Bhagishri, which happened to be somebody is a favorite, they said, it cures insomnia. Bhimpalas, a very beautiful rag again, is supposed to cure anxiety and hypertension. Chandrakons, which is a mirror image of Malkons with one minor change of note. Chandrakons is supposed to address anorexia and heart ailments, heart diseases. Hindol, which is Malkons. Hindol is the Carnatic name for Malkons. Rheumatic arthritis, backache, hypertension, and so on. Darbari Kannada is supposed to cure or reduce headache and asthma. Jejevanti, again, an amazing raga, very soothing raga, supposed to give you relief from diarrhea and headache. Kafi, which is also a dhat or a melkata in Hindustani style, is supposed to cure sleep disorders. By the way, Kafi is not Kapi in Carnatic style. It is Kafi as a different raga altogether. Sohini is supposed to heal headache, make you feel better. Yaman, which is a very common raga used in Bollywood music and light music as well, is supposed to cure rheumatic arthritis. There are other ragas like Tilak Kamod. If you remember the song Enir Kahan Se Bhar Se or something like a Lataji's, and Hamsadwani, Ja To Se Nahi Bolo. This is another song that Lataji has sung. And Kalavati Kahe Terasaya, if you can remember well. Durga is, there's one nice song. Geet Gaya Patharone, if you can remember. So these are some examples of ragas that I can immediately recall. Supposed to make you feel relaxed, supposed to ease all your tension, and it's supposed to be pleasing pleasing to your ears, so it soothes your nerves. Purya Dhanashri is another rag which is supposed to help if you're anemic. Madhuvanti, an amazing rag, a very appealing rag, is supposed to help you with piles of all kinds, including bleeding piles. Shuddha Sarang is another rag which is supposed to help if you have gallbladder stones. Shri Raga is supposed to help you with common cold, cough, or asthma. Behag, a beautiful raga, is supposed to make you, sleep if you are disturbed, if you have disturbed sleep patterns. Khamaj again is another thought, and it's also a very fine raga. And many of the Hindi film songs are composed using Khamaj. We will play it a little later if you are interested. This rag is supposed to help you with sleep disorders. Ramkali is supposed to help you with piles and colitis. Nat Bhairav, again, if you are into instrumental music, and if you have heard Pandit Ravi Shankar's sitar Vadan with Nat Bhairav, it can move you from within. I can only say that. You must listen to it to feel how it sounds on his fingers. Um, it's supposed to help you with indigestion, rheumatic arthritis. Kedar, mm, if you have heard the common bhajan, Darshan Do Ghansham, so that is set to Kedar. It is called Amir Kalyani in Carnatic classical. It's supposed to cure the headache and common cold, cough, and asthmatic pains. Bhupali Todi is another rag which is supposed to bring down your blood pressure levels. Gujri Todi or Gurjari Todi is supposed to reduce cough, and Gunakali is another raga which appeals to many in depression. It's supposed to help you with constipation and rheumatic arthritis. So these have been tested and proven. Although I have not tried them, maybe you would like to try them yourself and feel the difference. Okay. Before we draw our conclusions, any questions? Or would you like to put it in the chat box? I will be happy to answer them later. Screen not clear? Chandrakant, was the screen clear? Okay, I'll share the table with you later. Again, my apologies because there was no way I could make it even better. So let me see. I have another table which is clearer, I hope, because this has additional ragas that I found. Ragas, in addition to those that I have listed out earlier on. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
तो
Please.
लाइट काफी फीबल सा है
क्या फीबल है?
वो नॉट हाँ बिल्कुल भी नहीं दिख रहे, बहुत ज्यादा बारीक है.
क्या बारीक है?
वो अक्षर
छोटे हैं. एक
बहुत ज्यादा छोटे भी हैं.
Laptop it is clear, but whoever has joined from mobile, they won't be able.
Oh, okay. Let me. I have tried to increase the font. Let's see if it is now. ठीक है अभी?
हाँ, it's better than that.
Is it better now?
It's definitely better.
Thank you so much. Okay. So again, all these, this is not easy to remember, I know. So I can share these with the organizers, so they can either Archana ji or Feroz ji, they can pass it on to you.
We will share it on WhatsApp.
Thank you so much. So you have some more ragas. I know some of you mentioned these also as your favorite ragas, and you have already sensed that they are making a difference to you. and to your emotions. Todi, Bhupali, Ahir Bhairav, they are supposed to provide relief from cold and headache, blood pressure. Shivranjani, again, a rag that evokes pathos actually. It treats memory problems. Can you believe this? I don't know. I was quite surprised when I read about this. Bhairavi, supposed to provide relief from sinus, cold, phlegm, toothache. Toothache is something that I cannot, I mean, this I thought was chronic. Chandrakaus, yes, we just talked about treatment of heart ailments and diabetes. Darbari Kannada erases tension, provides relaxation. Behag and Bahar for sound and sonorous sleep. Darbari relieves you from tension. Malkhaus and Asaveri are supposed to cure low blood pressure problems. Tilakamo, Dhansadwani, Kalavati, Durga, like I just mentioned, these are of course repetitive, are supposed to erase tensions in your brain. So having said that, let me go to the moods. Some of the moods that normally, I mean, the moods are related directly to music and singing. Are you able to see the screen clearly now? I will increase the font size now.
No.
Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Is it better now? Please give me the feedback. Otherwise, I have no way of knowing whether you can see the screen.
No, this is good. Good.
Okay. Okay. So mood changes normally happens when you listen to classical music. This is the basis. This is the basic framework on which all the music that's being prescribed to patients as therapy, as a medicine. Now, when we say music and therapy, we are referring not to the vocal music. We are referring to the sound vibrations. So it refers directly to instrumental music and not to instrumental music like the percussion, not the drums, not mridangam, not tabla, not dholak, but we are talking about stringed instruments which emit soft vibrations, soft sound waves, like the violin, cello in the West, or probably I have never heard of piano or guitar being used as therapy, for therapy rather. So it's more to do with the soft instrumental music which is being used as music therapy. So it's either live or a recorded version of the instrumental music. Like yesterday, I was talking to somebody about this. Beethoven's, for example, music is supposed to be very loud because he was he couldn't hear. He was deaf. Suddenly, he became deaf. So normally, they do not advocate. They do not use Beethoven's music, even though it is instrumental. And number two, it is piano chords. So probably they try not to use Beethoven's music as appealing to people as therapy. But instead, they have live sessions of violin and cello very often used, or they play the music of on violin and record them and then play them one on one, depending on the needs and the kind of ailment and the receptive mood of the patient, and also on the taste of the listener or the patient. Above all, depends also on the intensity of the disease and the duration. How long has this patient been suffering? What kind of music he or she enjoys? Or what kind of a taste do they have? Do they like loud music? In which case, even if they do like loud music, it's not suggested. They do not use it for therapy, at least. Okay, you want to entertain the patient? Yes, let them listen to it. But don't call it music therapy and play jazz music and pop music and rock music and expect miraculous changes in the patient suffering from some kind of an ailment, mental or physical. So Hindustani and classical music in that sense, they consider ragas as depicting specific moods. Now, you have to choose the appropriate music depending on the mood of the patient or the person suffering to evoke the listener's mind before starting a musical treatment. For example, Kafi rag. Rag Kafi, according to the Hindustani nomenclature or naming, evokes humid, cool, soothing, and deep mood. Raga Purya Dhanashri evokes a sweet, deep, heavy, cloudy, and stable state of mind. Rag Mishramand is supposed to be very pleasing, refreshing, light, and sweet touch. You will have realized, those who are familiar with the Hindustani classical music, that Mand and Mishramand are used with dhumris. So, and light music uses it a lot, in ghazals especially. Bhageshwari arouses a feeling of stability. It evokes Karuna Rasa. So it also evokes depth and calmness in the mind. So ragas do heal when rendered properly at the right pitch with the right vadis and samvadis. Vadis and samvadis refer to those swaras, some of which do not change at all, like sa and pa will never change. The other swaras which do change are the rest of the notes, the five notes and the saptaswaras, and the correct prahar sung at the right time with the right pitch and with the right swaras. These ragas are supposed to heal for sure. Even a single swar has immense strength. That is why early morning they say, yes, just hum one swar, one note. It makes a lot of difference to your system, your mood. So probably this is what they mean by that. Let's look at some testimonials and case studies of people who have benefited from this therapy. Stuti, a sitar player in the US, is suffering from a heart condition. She says, I mainly use my sitar for meditation as I find the sound of the instrument bringing healing to me. I take the sitar to parks and beaches, out in hot or cold weather, depends. And as I need the serenity of its sound because of my heart condition. So this person is a musician and a patient. She is vouching for the curative power of the ragas. I mean, when the patient himself or herself vouches for it, what more proof do you need? I don't know. Another musician of the Jaipur Ghrana who recently brought a Rudra Veena. It's a kind of Veena. It's a stringed instrument, very similar to Veena, but held differently and played differently. I have noticed great cardiac as well as psychological benefits from playing my recently purchased Indian classical instrument called Rudraveena. I'm impressed by an often overlooked aspect, which is the healing aspect of Indian classical music. True intelligence resides in the heart. And this was an article written by Lakshmi Gopal. And here is it's been, I have given you the link. This was also reviewed and updated on the 23rd of November, 2018. You can find the article published, and here is the web page. So you can refer to the article. I can share this link with you if you like. Sorry. Let me go back to what I was talking about. Based on what I have looked at, based on what I have understood, I draw my conclusions as the importance of music therapy on the human body is innumerable. Indian classical music has positive effects on the body and mind. Each raga has its own nature of human treatment. Each raga is associated with a definite disease or a disorder in the human body. If used discreetly and systematically, it is said to motivate people for rehabilitation and restoration of the best health possible. Here are the references that I used. Here are the websites that I have consulted. Again, you can go ahead and do. There are tons of information available. This is only probably 0.1% of what I'm able to share with you given the time. Thank you very much for listening. I would like to hear from you. Your
Excellent
views,
information.
share your
Excellent.
views. Thank you. Now, I would like to hear from any of you who wants to share. I would leave it to Mohanji and the organizers to suggest.
People
Thank
who would
you.
like to speak, please can raise your reaction button here. Reaction button on your computer, unless you are on a mobile phone. And then according to the raising of the hands, we will invite. Okay, Ajay Rai can start.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. Sir, अभी जैसे recently म्यूजिक हमारे बड़े अच्छा सिंगर थे के he was performing on stage and all of a sudden he collapsed. Can you just let me know what was the exactly maybe some disease होगी पहले होगा क्या नहीं था लेकिन he was perfectly all right before half an hour or 1 घंटा पहले ठीक था तो अगर म्यूजिक इतना इफेक्टिव होता है फॉर हीलिंग एनी टाइप ऑफ सच टाइप ऑफ मतलब तो हाउ दिस हैपन एक दो और भी हुए हैं उनके नाम मुझे ध्यान नहीं है लेकिन रिसेंटली जो के का था वो केस एकदम मुझे स्ट्राइक किया तो कैन यू जस्ट गिव मी सम व्हाट आर द
before Seetha ji can go into this, I would like to give you another thought. एक बंदा क्रिकेट खेल रहा था,
हाँ
क्रिकेट खेलते खेलते कोलैप्स हो गया, तो हाउ व्हाट इज द कनेक्शन? एक बंदा क्रिकेट मैच देख रहा था, उसकी टीम हार गई, मर गया वो, तो व्हाट इज द कनेक्शन? So in my opinion it's very difficult to connect, but I would like Seetha ji to look into how KK died.
हाँ थोड़ा सा वो होता है कि एंजाइटी की क्यों ऐसा हुआ इतना अच्छा सिंगर and he was very बहुत पॉपुलर भी हो गया था and he was performing very nicely in the stage performance वगैरह but unfortunate. Seetha ji, please.
Thank you. I'm not an expert in the field, but I will try to explain using my logic. Not all musicians are believers or practices. We know KK as a great singer, but how much of his practice from the point of view of health conditions has been done is a big question. Do you think he took enough care, or did he foresee this kind of a health issue or heart problem? He would have taken more care, I'm sure. Number one, it can only mean that he did not probably focus enough attention to that aspect, because the body at some point of time gives you a warning.
Yeah, that's what.
It doesn't happen suddenly. Definitely it doesn't happen suddenly. It gives you a warning time and again, and the extreme case arrives only when you ignore all the warnings.
Yes.
I hope the doctors here and the experts, whoever is present here, will agree with me. Nobody collapses all of a sudden. We think it is sudden. But there have been incidences which have been milder and smaller in intensity. So we think, okay, maybe it's just a pain. It happens with most people. But when you strain yourself beyond your levels, particularly with music, you agree that it can excite you to the peak. When you're performing before an audience and it's infectious, the audience is reacting in such a way that you want to give out your best. In that excitement, how much was the focus addressed towards his health. No, let me not shout. Let me not jump. Let me not get excited because that's affecting my health. Goes to the back of the mind. The first instinct is to please the audience. So we do not know anything about this. The only person who can talk about this is KK himself. Unfortunately, it just happened. That's it. That's how I would look at it. So the one heads up is that please listen to your body. Do not do because somebody tells you to do. Do not listen to your body. That's what every doctor says. That's what every therapist says. Listen to your body first. Do only what you're capable of. Do not stretch yourself beyond this. Some people, in the name of dieting, cut down on food, intermittent fasting. It's all fine. It's not as generic as it appears. We are not machines. Everything, it's not one rule being applied to every situation. So choose your way, be discreet with what you have to do, when you have to do, and how much, how you have to do. That determines how well these singers, performers, or players, like Mohanji said, exercise this. Their focus is performing. That's it. Because basically they are into it. This is my bread and butter. This is what I have to do. I have to stay here. I have reached a stage when it becomes demanding to stay where you have reached. Reaching is one challenge. Staying where you have reached is another challenge. That becomes more demanding if you're overstraining yourself. Again, as an individual, I do not know what happened, how his lifestyle was, and then how much attention he paid to those warnings. Yes, that's all I can say. But yes, somebody who have analyzed his biography, who have seen him live through those days, will be able to explain better. Hope I have answered your question. Sorry, Ramanji. Ramanji, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this is oversimplification of an issue.
Yes.
You see, if you extend this logic, then MBBS doctors will not die. Everyone will live for 110 years. That is
Everyone
not
can
so.
become doctors also.
Music as a therapy is a therapy, yes. It has been proven some lab trials, experiments have been done, and some measuring instruments have been used. These alpha waves, beta waves kind of thing. And they have proven beyond doubt that there is a soothing effect to music. Well, when the mind is relaxed and when you are calm and collected, it ought to have the natural corollaries, the after effects of a quiet mind, a peaceful mind. It is just like I am very angry and excited. I do not know what I am doing. I'm thumping on the table. I am breaking ceramics. And then when the mood changes and I am calm once again, I can say at least I will not break any more cutlery. So that is, that is the way it goes. So I think music has its own soothing effects. If we don't have to be a patient getting treatment for a particular thing, we can, when you enjoy good music, it has its good effects, which we can see so apparently, so obviously, that even when we listen to some bad music or give out worse music, still that feeling of happiness, feeling of satisfaction, relaxation is there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramanji. Yes, every bit is right. Every bit is right. Like I mentioned this in the last session as well, that if you're going to say, I know logical minds will not accept that something like music can heal, something like pranic healing can heal, something like Reiki can heal, but they have been using this for therapy. I'm not saying they have been healing, they've been consistently used as ways of treating. So, music is another approach to therapy. So, when you use all of them simultaneously or complementing each other, it works. Do not stop one approach to use the other approach. So, when working in unison, music is only one of the ways of treating, one of
Yes.
the ways of healing, one of the ways of appealing and controlling the emotions or setting the moods. So yeah, it is not the only one. Do not rely only on that. Do not stop any other treatment because somebody says, okay, this raga, I'm going to listen to this raga, I'm going to be fine tomorrow. No, it doesn't work that way. It's in addition or aside from the treatment that you already have. It supplements whatever ways you've been using, whatever approaches you've been using in your therapy. That's how I would look at it. Now, if you're ready to listen to some audio pieces, somebody asked for, some of the ragas being played. So there are 10 ragas. I mean, do we still have the time? Archana ji, Mohan ji?
Yeah, you can go ahead for another 30 minutes, no issues.
Oh, okay. So I want to play a video so you can see the name of the raga. These are all in Hindustani style, sung by two Bengali singers, amazing singers. They have a series of videos. So let me see if, sorry, I hope it works.
I will sing Rag Yaman if time permits. You will all love it. The Bandish in Rag Yaman.
Okay, you want to sing?
Bandish. Pure Bandish, yeah.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me
Yeah,
see.
yeah, you play first.
Yeah. Let me see if this one works. It should work because I really want it's a beautiful piece. I love it, and then I want you to listen to it.
Please name the singers. I didn't quite catch their names.
They are called Surendro and Smojit. They're both Bengali singers. You will see them on the screen. Surendra, here. They are called Surendro
and Saumyajit.
Saumyajit. Yeah.
It is Saumyajit. In Bengali, they say Saumyajit.
Yeah. Can you see this?
Surendro and Saumyajit.
Yeah. These are amazing singers. They keep releasing videos. This is 10 ragas. So please listen to them. Isn't Lataji looking beautiful there? Yeah, just let me know if I'm sharing my screen. Am I sharing my screen?
Oh, not now.
Okay. Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Let me play the audio. Is the audio clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. They are giving, the name is here, appears. They are announcing the name of the rag, and it also appears here at the bottom right hand corner. So just watch out for the name and listen also to the announcement.
So we start off with Rag Yaman.
नाम गुम जाएगा, चेहरा ये बदल जाएगा, नाम गुम जाएगा, चेहरा ये बदल जाएगा, मेरी आवाज ही पहचान है, गर याद रहे हो नाम गुम जाएगा।
गारा पिलू
मोहे पन घट पे नंद लाल छेड़ गयो रे मोहे पन दरियाમાં गयो रे मोहेपन घाट पे
टोड़ी
रहना बीती जाए शाम न आए रहना बीती जाए शाम न आए
माच खमाच
जाने क्या बात है जाने क्या बात है जाने क्या बात है जाने क्या बात है नींद नहीं आती बड़ी लंबी रात है जाने क्या बात है जाने क्या बात है नींद नहीं आती बड़ी लंबी रात है
भैरवी
जिया चले जहाँ चले नैनो तले धुआं चले रात भर धुआं चले जानो ना सखीरी जिया चले जा चले
नंद
तू अगर उदास होगा तो उदास होंगी मैं भी तू अगर उदास होगा तो उदास होंगी मैं भी नजर आऊं या न आऊं तेरे पास होंगी मैं भी तू जिधर का रुख करेगा मेरा साया साथ होगा तू जहां जहां चलेगा
पहाड़ी
देखा एक ख्वाब तो ये सिलसिले हुए दूर तक निगाहों में गुल खिले हुए ये गिला है आपकी निगाहों से फूल भी हो दरमिया तो फासले हुए
मधुवंती
रस्मे उल्फत को निभाए तो निभाए कैसे हर तरफ आग है दामन को बचाए कैसे रस्मे उल्फत
मांड
तू चंदा मैं चांदनी तू तरवर मैं शाख रे तू बादल मैं बिजुरी तू पंछी मैं पात रे तू चंदा मैं चांदनी
खमाच
ओ सजना बरखा बहार वाई रस की पुहार लाई अखियों में प्यार लाई ओ सजना बरखा बहार वाई रस की पुहार लाई अखियों में प्यार लाई ओ सजना सजना.
So that was Lata Mangeshkar ji, and on her 92nd birthday, wow, it's a humble, very small little tribute from the two of us to this great legend, to the music Masiha, to
Sorry to cut that short.
Very nice.
Wasn't that amazing?
Amazing.
They recreate magic. Yes.
Yes.
Anybody
Actually,
else?
Seetha, I want to tell you, actually, they have also had different songs on one particular rag, Rag Pahadi, Rag Raman Kalyan.
They have
even they
made
have, yes.
they have made a series of videos
Yes.
taking one rag
Ah.
and 5 to 10 songs in the same
Yes.
rag.
Yes.
Okay, if I may add here, there are also videos which show that composers had preferred ragas. Madan Mohan, for instance, each of his songs were more predominantly ghazals. He chose Lata. He wanted Lata to sing all his ghazals. And 90% of his songs, his compositions were based on classical ragas. And you don't know where he starts, you don't know where he ends. It starts in one rag, moves through, blends. Because it is light music, they have the freedom to move away, use a couple of foreign notes in that rag, and then come back to the same rag or use a different rag and the composition. So he was a genius in the use and blending of ragas. Same way, if you see Naushad, he has a way of choosing, nazms. And they had Pahadi, for instance, he used, and Mand was another that he did use. And Bhupali, somebody was saying, there's one composition of Bhupali, very well sung. Since all these, I thought, will become too cramped if I include in this, I preferred not to include them. My apologies if you're disappointed. But yes, probably we could do a session exclusively on classical based Hindi film music.
Yes.
So people will get to contribute. It's a kind of singing session where people can contribute as well. Yes. Given the time and the topic was more to do towards healing than the aesthetic aspect of music. We are not discussing music as a tool of entertainment. We are looking at it as a therapy. So I had to confine myself to those aspects of music which had to do with healing.
Very nice.
So there it is.
Amazing.
Thank you very much.
And Seetha, don't forget to send the charts, the different charts. Please share it with us.
Okay. What I could do is I'll send it to Archana ji. So she
all
will pass it.
whose numbers, WhatsApp numbers are available with us, we'll share.
Yeah, please share. Because it's very useful. I'd like to keep up with this thing.
Definitely.
Share in the group, no? We will take.
Your
The
number
problem is you will have the same problem.
Yeah.
Of, it'll become hazy once you zoom it. Instead,
see, what happens is, this will be sent to you either by WhatsApp or your email ID, whatever is this. Please download it.
Yes.
Because if you are going to read it on screen, you will never get it clear.
Okay.
Please download it.
Okay.
Expand it to the appropriate font size.
Okay.
If 12 is expanded to 120, you will see nothing.
Okay.
It becomes hazy.
So expand it to the appropriate size and then read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And once again, as Seetha very clearly mentioned during the course of our talk and thought sharing process, don't do any self-medication or self-diagnosis, because I have been, what has happened is in the colony where I'm staying, at about 6:15, somebody put in a message that my father suffers from nosebleeds. What to do? So my response was, please take him to the nearest hospital and take him to a casualty. 1 hour, 10 minutes, people are still doing prognosis. It could be spray, it could be this, it could be that. I'm really concerned for the patient. That is, one bad effect of the system is everybody is a doctor on this. Everybody is an economist. On the 28th of February, everybody is an economist. Everybody is a doctor. Everybody is an expert. Remember, this requires a lot of depth, understanding. My suggestion would be no self-medication, no self-diagnosis, or diagnosing others' problems.
That's true.
That's something we have to remember.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
That is something very, very important. And also, don't jump to conclusions. A quick take on KK. KK was on drugs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk about that.
Yeah. He was snorting performance enhancing drugs because he was doing programs for 3 successive days for 5 hours each, shouting exactly at the top of his voice with those huge system blaring music. If he had not died, he would have been Gandharva himself.
There is an exceptional always there.
Exceptions funny. What says music is therapy, then why did KK die? It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
I am not connecting with that.
Even if KK were not a singer, probably he would have died the same way.
Exactly. See, SD Burman had a heart attack before Guide. And he said to Devanand, please compose music with R.D. Burman.
No, Milli.
No, Guide.
Before Milli also.
Guide. Gata Rahe Mera Dil. He had composed. He had a heart attack. In Milli, he had a second heart attack. And thereafter, he passed away.
He never came back.
Yeah. So in Guide, he had a heart attack. And then he called Devanand and said, Yeska composition aap R.D. Burman se karwa lo. Devanand said, no, only you should come back. So he said, agar hum mar gaya, to kya hoga? He said, agar tum mar gaya, to the Guide will have only Gata Rahe Mera Dil. So, heart attack, say it can prevent heart attack, it can help, but it's a big.
It's a big.
Yeah, there are people.
A lot of things are connected.
There are people going for gym. Okay. My personal friend, there is a doctor. He has 5 uncles and his father is the 6th. His father and 4 uncles are people who eat, drink, and enjoy merry life. All of them lived up to be 88 and plus. His youngest uncle was a gym enthusiast. The fellow died at 45. तब के ऊपर यहाँ एक होता है प्रारब्ध कर्म.
वो तो सांसें counted है.
What did you want to do? If your presentation is to do with music therapy, we will take it. But if it is just a demo of a raga, then means we'll take it on another occasion.
Yeah. No worries. I'm saying you and Seetha put up a very good.
Because what we are trying to do is today we are trying to connect healing with ragas and music therapy. So as of today, we don't want a demonstration of a raga, which we will have it on another occasion.
Never mind. No. Never use it.
Please don't.
Like I said, it's an ocean. No. It's a notion when you start talking about music, leave alone different genres, leave alone raga. If I can give an example, way back in 2006, I wrote a paper only on the swara ma, using the swara ma in speech and music, relating it acoustically and relating it to the frequency at which it is used. Okay, both in speech and music. That was presented in Sangeet Research Academy, New Delhi in 2006. It was quite well received. But one of the comments that I received was, it's a small part of the Swarama. I said, yes, it's not even a small part of it's an iota actually. It's an atom of the topic. It's impossible. It's impossible to present everything in 20 minutes. So what we will do is, depending on the time that we have, we will take up one by one, depending on your interest and the feedback that I get as to what you would like to listen to. We will take up. I had in mind one raga-based, classical raga-based songs, or composer-based, depending on the composer. For instance, I can talk about Madan Mohan, and the kind of ragas that you used, we will have a lot of demonstration. There we are only going to demonstrate. There's no talking session involved. There is nothing to be told. It has to appeal to your senses in different ways. That's it. So
That's
we
a
could
great
take
idea.
that up. Please do suggest in the group, in the chat box, anywhere that you like, what would appeal to you, what you would like to hear, and we will take it up together. So we can discuss. So you will
That's a
have
very
lot
good
of
idea.
input as
The
well. Yeah.
Seniors Today organizing team and Dr. Seetha and we'll all discuss this out and come up with some suggestions for which we can take a feedback.
It might take a little while because it needs a lot of research work to be done.
Yeah.
So please give me some time. I can work on, yes, I can work on Madan Mohan because he's one of my favorite composers.
We'll work on, definitely work on.
So if you can
Because
let
the
me know,
Indian,
I will be happy.
the Indian music, both either Carnatic and Hindustani, is so vast. It's so vast that one lifetime is not enough.
Right.
One lifetime is not enough. A maestro like Bhimsen Joshi used to have what he calls, he used to do his riyas from 5 in the morning till 11 in the afternoon. There are 6 hours per day, every day of the week. So there have been people with that kind of commitment. Yesudas continues. He's 80 plus. He rehearses for about, they say, Mohammad Rafi, his wife used to say he knows only 2 things, namaz and riyas, nothing else. He did not even know how to sign his name in English. So he used to ask Mahendra Kapoor to write Mohammad M. Rafi in English. So music is, it is a Saraswati Devi ka varman. It's a commitment. And we have had this wonderful opportunity, Seniors Today, making us this platform available. And happy.
Chandrasekhar ji, are you trying? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Anybody wants to speak?
Chandrasekhar ji, do you want to say something? Are you trying to say something?
If anybody wants a hands up, yeah.
Yeah, anybody wants to say something, give me the feedback, suggestions.
नहीं, मैं तो just ये कहूँगी, thanks सीता जी for this wonderful session. बहुत ही consistently आपने सब चीजें जो है रखी हैं.
Thank you.
It was really amazing session.
Thank you.
There are lots of things that come to my mind. अरे ये कहना चाहती थी, ये कहना चाहती थी, अभी याद आ रहा है. So there is no end. The entire day.
Chandrasekhar ji wants to share some thoughts.
Sorry?
Chandrasekhar ji perhaps want to share some thoughts.
अच्छा रहा.
आपको कुछ बोलना है?
सेशन बहुत अच्छा रहा, सुनकर काफी जानकारी मिली. बस इतना ही कहना है.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'd also like to thank Seetha and Mohan for such a lovely topic. You are bringing up such good topics. Like we are so glued to the, screen. Very nice, very nice. Whatever you decide, I am okay. You don't have to take any suggestion. I am okay with all your suggestions.
See, today's thanks to me is something like the main singer sings. There is a fellow who does, ting, ting, ting. That's what I do.
No, I think all
so
of
that
us
fellow
have to
also
thank.
gets some appreciation. So thank you. I am happy for that.
I think
he's
I
called
should
that
thank.
Jalra fellow, Ching Chok fellow. He also.
No, you are
It
being
was an
very
amazing
humble.
presentation by Seetha, and we had a lot of discussion on the subject for the past 1 week, and the kind of research that she has done.
Yes.
Let's say, according to Indian Standard Time, it'll be 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. her time. She says, my research starts now. That's the kind of research she has done. Amazing presentation. And the depth of the presentation, the scholarship behind the presentation. And another thing, a perfect, calm and pleasant demeanor.
Very true.
Calm and pleasant demeanor, smiling all the time, very patient.
Yes. Very true.
There are 2 lessons. One is how to do a good presentation. And point number 2, how to work on the content of the presentation. So that itself was a lesson in itself. Thank you very much for being with us. We are so proud of having you in Seniors Today. And definitely we'll work on it. There'll be part 3, बहुत सारे parts. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you everyone for your time. I know everybody is busy with the family and you gave me so much time. Thank you very much. Thank you, Seniors Today. I think more importantly, I have to thank Seniors Today, Archana ji and Firoz ji, who were completely, dedicated to this 1.5 hours. I'm so
Yes,
blessed.
yes.
Our pleasure, ma'am. You are with us.
Thank you, Mohanji, for all the support. Thank you, everybody. Please do give me your feedback. Whether positive, negative, suggestions, anything is most welcome.
Thank you.
Have a good day.